Thanks to Leader Newspapers. Coming up, the wash-up from all three grand finals, Division 1, 2 and the under-19s. And don't forget the under-19 Handball Championship Grand Final. We find a winner finally in that competition, small target as it might be. Don't go anywhere for the next little while. This is SFL TV. Welcome to the final episode of SFL TV for the 2014 season, and joining me at the desk as he always does is Dave Hammers Hampton. Dave, welcome.
Thank you, Wiz. Wonderful to be here, and what a year we've had. Of course, all the grand finals over the weekend, so plenty to get through. Let's take a bit of a look at what transpired.
Yeah, let's start with the under-19s, and of course the first grand final for last weekend was the under-19 grand final at Springvale Reserve, and that was between Bentley and Dingley, and what a fantastic game it was. In fact, I was stopped by a number of people in the crowd later in the day who thought it was one of the best games of footy they'd seen for the year.
Yeah, it certainly was, and just the standard, the under-19 standard of football, for me anyway, has lifted enormously in the last 3 or 4 years, and I just think it's getting better and better. And as we saw over the weekend, just stronger and stronger every year.
Fast, skillful, tough, ticked every box, really.
Oh, it did. It did.
And it was Bentley who came out winners in the end. 9 goals, 5, 59, defeating Dingley 6-7, 43. Pretty closely fought game, Hammers, and the Demons opened up a little bit of a lead in the third quarter and weren't headed. Hung on very well during the last quarter, and a fantastic speech by Paul Dimartina to the boys at three-quarter time as well.
Yes, I believe there was. I didn't actually get out for Paul's three-quarter time speech, but I tell you what, it was a hard-fought game, and of course, we know last year they went into that grand final red-hot favourites, didn't quite get the job done. We spoke to him last week about redemption. He was happy to use the word, and that's what they were able to get this week.
Absolutely.
So, but really tight. I mean, they had to come from behind at half-time. It was only a couple of points, but it was just goal for goal all day, wasn't it? I know we've got to get to the handball competition very shortly. We've got the grand final coming up, so massive that will be. But of course, we also had the Steve Barnes medalist in that game on the weekend as well.
Yes, the Steve Barnes medalist for the best player on the ground in the under-19 grand final went to Jack Godakis of Bentley, and congratulations to Jack. He played a tremendous game. Of course, there probably would have been 4 or 5 boys that could have won that medal. They might have to start bringing additional medals to grand finals in the future, Hammers, but congratulations to Jack. And as we said, all the boys from Bentley on a fantastic season. All right. It's time now, while we're on the under-19, to go straight to the under-19 handball competition. And this is the grand final, Hammers. The 4 winners of the heats are going to be going head-to-head in the grand final of the handball competition. So let's take a look. All right, it's grand final day for the SFL under-19 handball competition. And I've got our heat winners with me today. It's a 4-way grand final. Over on the far side there, we've got Sean Cusack from the Cheltenham Footy Club. Then Jack Thompson from the Karen Patterson Lakes Footy Club. Cameron Lee from the Hampton Football Club, and Jack Prosser from the Hyatt Football Club. Boys, this is it. We're going to start off in that order. 3 on your right, 3 on your left, and let's see who wins the prize for Leader Newspapers. Okay, you ready to go? Let's go. All right, here we go. Sean Cusack, 3 on your right, and let's see how you go. 10, that's a good start in the grand final from Cusack. 3, that's not so good. And another 3. So what does that make?
16.
16 for Sean Cusack. And here we go with Jack Thompson from Karen Patterson Lakes. It's a famous name in the movies, Jack Thompson. Let's see if he can be famous in the handball. Oh, nearly a 10. It was just the 7. That's a 3. And we'll call that a 5. I think it mainly hit the 5. What do we get there?
15.
15, so Cusack was on 16, Thompson's on 15, and now we're going with Cameron Lee from the Hampton Footy Club. You ready with these footies, Sharpie? 7. 7. 10. Oh, that's mighty good work from Cameron Lee there. What's he on? 24. That's very good work. That looks like the score to beat at the moment from the young boy from the Hampton Hammers. And we've got last one off the rank with his. You're going to use your right first up?
Yeah, I'll go right first.
Right, this is Jack Prosser from the Hyde Bulldogs there. We're just waiting for Sharpie to get the foot he's organised. Come on, Sharpie. Very nice. Let's go. All right, here we go. 7.
Oi.
Oh, it's a 3. It hit the target. And a 3. That's 13. So, all right. So we've got a 15, a 16, a 13, and a 24. Looks like young Cameron Lee from the Hammers is the boy to beat at the moment. So let's see what the young fella Cusack from Cheltenham's got on his left hand. Are you ready to go? Yes. All right, let's go, mate. 10. That's a very good start. 3. And 3. 32 for Sean Cusack, the clubhouse leader at the moment. And Jack Thompson, who's currently on a score of 15. Oh, that's a 3. That's a 0. That's a blob. Come on, Jacko. You're going to go better than that, son. And a 10. That's much better than that. Well done, Jack. And that takes his score to 28. So at the moment, Sean Cusack still the clubhouse leader from Cheltenham with a score of 32. Thanks, Carlos. All right. Now it's Cameron Lee with a score of 24 at the moment. Let's see what he's like with his left hand. 3 with your left. Oh, that's a donut. That's a 3. And a 7. Oh, so Cusack's winning on 34. 34's the score to beat. Jack Prosser from the Bulldogs. 7. 3. And a 10. That might be enough. That might be enough. What's he got, Carl?
33.
All right, so there we go. We've got a winner in the handball competition, and it's Cameron Lee from the Hampton Footy Club. Well done, Cam. It's nice to see the Hammers finally winning something, mate. They'll be very proud of you back there. So you win the Leader newspaper's beautiful brand new Sharon Footy and this fantastic umbrella from Leader newspapers, Leader and community newspapers. They're terrific. So well, that's it for the Under-19 handball competition for this season, but we'll see you all again on SFLTV for the handball competition next season as well. Welcome back to SFL TV, and now it's time to talk about the Division 2 Grand Final played last Saturday at Jack Barker Oval in Cheltenham. Hammers.
Yes, big day out there, wasn't it? And these were the two teams we thought would fight it out pretty early in the season. That's how it panned out.
They've been shaping up against each other all year, and Mordialloc and Skye it was. And the final score, Mordialloc 14-13-97. Defeated Skye 9-9-63, and Morris booted 7 for Mordialloc and Pennycook 2, and I think Big Evans booted 4 for the Bombers. Not to be outdone, they had a crack, Skye, but they weren't quite up to it with Mordialloc in the end.
Yeah, they started well. They led at quarter time. It was one quarter of football that Mordialloc really got the job done, and I think it was 8-6 in that second term. Skye won 3 out of 4 quarters. Doesn't happen very often in football. That
is an amazing stat that they've won 3 quarters of football and lost the grand final.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen very often, as we said. But that one bad quarter was a very damaging one for them. And of course, the medalist on the day, who was outstanding for the Bloods, and it really, Morris, I thought, was a little bit unlucky with 7 goals. Yeah. It was a superb effort, but Simon Fragiacomo, he was superb as well, and they really did have winners all over the ground. But great effort by the Skye boys, and Benny Walker and his team, they were very good, and they came to play. They had to find some goals from somewhere. We mentioned that throughout the year, and they were able to do that. Evans chiming in with 4 goals was very good.
Yeah, it's good, and get around the Bloods. As they go into Division 1 next year, it'd be good to see them have a successful year. In fact, the last few teams that have been promoted from Division 2 to Division 1 have made a reasonable fist of it in their first year or two. And we're looking at East Malvern and Bentley in particular over the last few years. And of course, the model is with the Dingoes, who also came out of Division 2 premiers not so long ago, and through to Division 1 grand final already. So we're looking forward to see what the Bloods can do in their first year in Division 1 next year. All right, let's turn our attention to Division 1 grand final now, and what a cracking game it was, Hammers. And of course the Dingoes, raging favourites through most of the home and away season, met up with the Vampires, East Brighton. And the final score, East Brighton 18-10, 118. Defeated Dingley 7-49, a very disappointing result.
Yeah, it certainly would have been for Shane Morwood and his boys out there. They were very good. They let it within a point, I think it was, at quarter time. But, well, dare we say it, they really put the Dingoes to the sword, and they just had no answers. And obviously playing the extra game last week, they knew there was no coming back from there.
Yeah, and grand final experience too, Hammers. I think it counts for something. That was their 4th in a row, and now they've got 2 from 4, and it's a good grand final record for the Vampires, so well done to them. Now, joining us at the desk, and we'll get back into some of the details of the game, of course, the coaches of all of the Division 1 and Division 2 teams have been very kind to us here at SFLTV, but of course with Silly Sunday, Mad Monday and Trashy Tuesday and whatever they go after that.
Wacky Wednesday.
We're unable to get them, and we understand why, and they've been working hard all season, so we've left them alone. But joining us at the desk instead, the umpires, 2 of the 3 umpires from the Division 1 grand final, and it's great to have them here too, Hammers. It's Sam Bridges to your right there, and Annie Mirabali. Is that right?
Close. It's close.
I was going to say... Mirabali. Annie, I'm so sorry. We practiced it too. Anyway, Annie, great to have you both here. And what a cracking job you did too on grand final day.
Oh, look, they did. I thought had a superb final series, really. And was it a tough game to umpire? And first of all, how were the nerves for both of you? I'll start with you first, Annie. How did you find that experience? Was it your first grand final?
It was my first Division 1. I did the Division 3 last year. Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. The Scotty and Sammy put the first bounce on me, which I unfortunately couldn't get straight, but that's all right.
Well, it was the only, we can say it was the only one you missed for the whole day, and we did think about it prior to the show. You would have been, a little bit flat for you, was it? The feeling after?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I
don't think you missed it by much.
No, it was well out, I reckon. That's all right.
Did the right thing and called it back, though.
Yeah.
But Hammers is right.
Gee, honesty, a lot of players don't have the honesty.
Well, that's right, they bluff it. But it was quite a difficult game for you to call. I know you made that comment afterwards, Hammers. The first probably quarter or so, it was in very tight and very close. Tough to umpire?
Yeah, it was. It started off really tough, you know, with the players always in a grand final are going to start off really hard. So I found myself, and I think both Annie and Scotty found that really had to be on our game to really start off the game. But once they all settled down, it became a really good game to umpire.
Did you get much back chat? Do you get a lot of back chat from grand finals, or are they a little bit more concentrated on just what they need to do?
Yeah, I think they're pretty focused on the game. During the home and away season, especially when games get a bit one-sided, they tend to give you a bit of yap. But they were all pretty good.
But interestingly, Wiz, our 3 Division 1 umpires, of course, on Sunday, 19, 20 and 21 years of age, so the future looks very bright.
It does, it's great news. I can't even remember being 21. It's a while ago for me. But you already know that. So now the medal, the Manili medal for best player on the ground, you guys voted on that. Yeah. And it could have gone to any one of a number of players, you'd say. It went to Ben Duthie in the end, the captain of East Brighton. Yeah. But there were plenty of others in the running.
Are you allowed to tell us about the other players that were discussed in the mix of it?
Yeah, we discussed the ruckman, Dahl, number 19.
Dahl,
yep. And number 5, Nathan Stewart.
Nathan Stewart.
Yeah. So they were all pretty close, but in the end, Ben pipped him.
Went to the skipper, Ben, and richly deserved too.
Yeah, no, he did. He had played a really good game. He really stood out for us 3 umpires, that he was the best on the ground. So.
Also played wing, kicked some goals.
Kicked some goals too, yeah. Had some crucial times as well. So that's
love to ask you this too, just from your perspective. Where do you think East Brighton really took control of the game? What was the difference between the 2 sides?
I think they just seemed to go in harder for the ball. I think, finishing 3rd on the ladder, I think they really, they didn't have anything to prove. They went out to give their all, and I found you saw that, especially early on in the game. They went really hard. The week off, I think, helped as well. So I found probably, midway through the second quarter, when they kicked a couple of goals in there, that it was that was really their time to shine. So. Yeah.
But did you play a bit of junior football?
No, I didn't. At the moment, I'm coaching junior football with umpires down in the SMJFL, so really enjoying that. But no, I've never played football myself. So
you've both got a great passion for it, though.
Yeah, love it.
It's great fun.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for coming in to join us.
Thank you.
Nice.
Terrific,
Give up your
guys.
time.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on the year. Obviously, it's the great award for you,
Yeah.
Division 1 Grand Final, and hope you enjoyed it. And good
Thank
luck
you.
for next year. Hope you get it again.
And we gave you a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
9.5 is a hard mark.
Bounce.
So that's the Division 1 Grand Final wrap up there. It's been a fantastic season for all Division 1, and congratulations, of course, to Ben Murphy and his boys from East Brighton. The Vampires took all before them during the final series. They're the best team in Division 1 through the month of September, without any doubt, Hammers, and they've taken the big trophy. All right, that's it for Division 1, and we're going to go to a little bit of a break at the moment, and we'll be back after this. You're watching SFLTV for the final episode of 2014, and we're just about done for this show, Hammers.
Gone very quick, Wiz, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
It's just been around, 5 or 6 weeks, but been fantastic. But before we go, it'd be remiss of me to ask you, your highlight of the year for 2014?
Well, there's probably been a few, and the emergence of some bright young talent. I love the under-19 competition. We've seen some great players there, but for me, the great highlight was the re-emergence of the AFL Victoria Interleague Metro Championships, in spite of the fact that we're ranked number 6, that we put a side together, we've represented our brand well there, and we're off to those championships again next year. And stay tuned, by the way, I know we mentioned it earlier in SFLTV, we're just that far away from making an announcement on a really high-profile coaching appointment for that, for next season's Interleague Championship, and up against the Essendon District League next year. So
That's
we'll need to be up and around nice and early. So stay tuned for that, and announcement coming on a great coaching appointment shortly. What about you, Hammers? What was your highlight for the year?
Again, there was quite a few. I've enjoyed the show. This has been fantastic. So that's evolving all the time. But for me, it was the Bentley Football Club. I thought in Division 1. I mean, straight up from Division 2 last year as premiers, and lost a lot of players. And I thought they would do it really tough. But in the end, only a game or so out of the finals. In fact, probably just a game. So it looks to me like they and some other clubs in Division 2. I don't want to forget those. Are really starting to head in the right direction, and that also sends well for the competition. Yeah,
and look out for another big year from the Demons. I think there's some planning going on there, from what I've heard, that they're going to have a ripper year next year. So in Division 1, looks like it's going to be a terrific season. In fact, all 3 divisions. Any new teams next year, Wiz? We've got... well, there's Keysborough coming into Division 2 next year. There's a nice story. That's approved by AFL Victoria, and that's fantastic. The only one at this point. But there's been interest from other clubs, which is saying that perhaps the SFL competition is one that's being noticed by others within the area, and it'd be great to have Keysborough on board next season. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're a powerhouse for a lot of years, the Keysborough boys. So, good luck to them, and let's welcome them into the competition. Yeah, look forward to seeing them go around next year in Divi 2. That's about all we've got time for, Hammers. I just wanted to say, firstly, thanks to you, and of course to our executive producer, Rob Sharp. I don't want to say thank you to you, do I? If you say thank you to me, I've got to say thank you to you. I just want to say thank you to Sharpie. Sharpie, and our camera and editor guy, Nico. It's been a terrific experience. We've had lots of great feedback from everybody in the footy community about the show. Absolutely love doing it, and so we will again next year. I want to say also thanks to all the coaches and football clubs who support it by sending under-19 footballers in for the handball competition, for appearing when they could. We understand that in a grand final episode, most of them are celebrating, and this is the last thing they want to do. And thank you to the umpires as well. Oh, yeah. Enjoy your celebrations, all of you. It's been a fantastic year. Look forward to seeing you all at the presentation night in just a week or so's time. It's going to be fantastic, but that's it for SFL TV for this year, and we will see you again next year. Bye for now.